Today I have a very special guest on this segment of Drinking with Seth, and she's I just tried from TikTok, all the way from TikTok coming on to YouTube. Right, so are you in trouble now?
You mean like kena flame by insurance agents?
Yeah, so if you haven't watched her TikTok, right, she made a video on how much commission your insurance agent gets, right, and then she credit me somehow. Right, so yeah, a lot of agents were unhappy about that. Right, so I thought it would be quite interesting to have her on my show. Then we can talk about the reactions that the video has garnered, and also have a longer discussion on things like commission and all, because your TikTok is only 15 seconds, right?
No lah. Maybe like 60 seconds.
60 seconds, yeah,
Maybe
but
1
still
minute
that's very difficult to explain certain concept, right? My YouTube, 10 minutes, sometimes I also feel like, not enough time to explain. Right, so we are going to have a pretty long discussion on this, right? So you can grab a drink,
Yes,
right? Enjoy.
Oops, cheers.
Enjoy it with us. Actually, I thought it was very balanced, your video.
Yeah.
Right? So basically you talk about how much distribution cost, right? And distribution cost, if you look at your benefit illustration, goes to your agent.
Yeah.
And it's paying for financial advice they put under there. Yeah. So why do you think people are so unhappy?
Why do you think? If so I think you screw someone else's rice bowl, right? You confirm get backlash one, right?
But I don't think you were screwing at the rice bowl.
I don't think so, leh.
Right? You just stated that the distribution costs are like that, right? You can go and check it out, and then you personally you have thought twice if you knew that it was so high.
I think when I first created the video, my intention was to teach my viewers and people to read distribution costs lah. And I think the main point of my video was to educate people to read their policies, because if you think about it, you sign a policy, most agents will not tell you this is the distribution cost, this is how much I'm earning. Obviously they're not going to tell you right? But if you read, you will be able to know, right? But I think most consumers will not. Then they will just ask, hey, what do you think this is good for me or not? Then they just ask me, Then I'm like, ayo.
So why do you think it's important for people to know how much commission?
I mean, if you know how much you're paying for in commissions, then you will know how much value you're also getting, right? I mean, okay, but granted that you get a service, maybe the insurance agent go to your house, right? But I think it presents a conflict of interest lah. So if you offer an agent $5,000 to promote one product versus $100 to promote one product, which one do you think the agent will sell? So then, is it really good for you? Is it a policy that's really good for you, or is just what the agent can earn from? And if you notice that in the insurance firm, in the insurance line, there's a lot of people, MDRT, like a lot of showing of their wealth. Then I wonder, I don't know, I think...
Actually, the wealth, they are trying to show that they are very successful, they can help you grow your wealth, right? But ironically, I think the wealth comes from
the people that they are trying to help.
So, I mean, they earn a lot of commission, right? That's how they earn most of their wealth. Okay, I think the issue now is that the fact that you're highlighting the distribution cost, right, has ruffled some feathers. It makes me a bit puzzled, is it? Right? And I think some people say, it's printed there, it's black and white, why so, why are we implying that they're hiding? But the thing is, so many other people also don't know, right? I think some of the agents also themselves don't know what distribution cost is. Yeah, some of the comments say that distribution cost is for things like underwriter, right? Or if you buy direct from the insurance company, there's still distribution cost. So I think a lot of people are not very clear, right? And in fact, it is not really communicated to them that, hey, this is actually commission that I will take. Now, even though the distribution cost is printed there, the commission is not spelled out, okay? And I am from that background, I started my career in a commission agency, so I know exactly, all right, okay, not exactly, I mean, things have changed a little bit here and there, but I know roughly how much they're getting from the distribution cost, right? So if you look at, your plan is a long-term 25-year, 30-year plan.
You mean the one that I featured on there? That was, I think, a 25-year one.
25-year, then the annual premium, how much was it?
I think it was maybe about 3,000. I think the premium was lower than the first year's distribution cost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's actually very common, okay? So why is the distribution cost 100% or even more than the premium paid? All right, it's because your agent actually tends to get about half the premium. Okay, from a 25-year plan, you tend to get 50 to even 60% of the commission of the premium as commission. And then the manager still need to get, right, this thing called overriding. And overriding can be 10 to maybe 15%, depending on the company itself and all. And then there's still a reserve amount for the agent's bonus. Right? If they sell enough in the year, they can get another maybe 25% of the first year comp.
Like performance bonus.
Yeah, so if you go and calculate, right, 50% base comp, another up to 25% for bonus, then of course there's the manager's pay. So we are up to about 80+% already. And then there's still incentive trip, right? They, your agent, I'm sure you have seen your friends or your agent go on incentive trip. All these need money and all this come from distribution costs. Yeah, so the first year can indeed all be paid as distribution costs. That means commissions, the manager commission, all this kind of thing. Yeah, and it can be more than the annual premium, which is why some people don't believe that that's really commission. But again, this has happened before, that distribution costs can be higher than annual premium because they want to incentivize agents to go and sell. And they make a loss on the first year because subsequently they expect to earn it back, right? So now I ask you to help me sell a $100 product per year, $100 per year product, and I give you $117.
Yeah.
Okay, you're happy to go and help me sell,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah, and then the first year I make a loss, but second year I earn a bit back, right? In fact, second year I still give you $50 because you help me sell this policy. I still give you another amount of comp, right? But over 25 years, I collect $100 a year. I cover my costs. I will still expect to get a profit, right? So companies do pay quite high commission on a lot of products, right? But of course, not all products give that kind of high commission, high distribution cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bulk of distribution costs go towards commission. Okay, that's why if agents were to provide the breakdown, right, you find that the commission will take up a lot of the distribution costs. Okay, it's very, very different from running costs of the company. Of course, the insurance company need to pay for underwriters, pay for customer service. All these are outside of distribution costs.
But then some people would say that, it's not as much as you guys say it is.
Well, it depends on the type of policy itself, right? So I believe what you were showing was a long-term 25-year term plan that is for endowment or for investment-linked life policies. Okay, when it's a long plan like that, it tends to be quite high. Distribution costs the first year can be the entire year's premium, or can be even be more. So it's quite scary, So I think consumers need to know that this kind of high commissions can create a certain kind of conflict of interest.
So I ask you one thing. So when you were taking commission rather than fee, then how you survive in doing commissions?
Okay, so the first year when I was in my insurance agency, we call it a tied agent. That means we only represent one company. And that one at the time, I don't know what is clash of interest. I don't even know got better policies or things like that. I just sell whatever my manager tell me to sell. Yeah, and the funny thing was, something just made me feel a bit weird because every time I sell the policy, the commission is quite good. It's really very good. Like, I can spend one afternoon at McDonald's, sit down there, get someone to buy a savings plan. And then when he buys the plan, wow, I'm $3,000 richer. Then next year, I still got another $1,500 come. That's just base commission, and I haven't count my bonus and all. So I began to wonder, a bit too good, this money. Then I went to research. Then, of course, one day, another client come and compare a policy. He come and tell me, this policy recommend. This other policy, sama, same, but better. Better. And the reason is the distribution cost of that product is not as good. I mean, it's to some extent, it's a zero-sum game, right? If the insurance company pay you more, right, that means the commission give you more, right? Then the benefit of the product has to adjust to account for that. Okay, so I think some agents say, it doesn't matter, you buy whatever policy, who cares what the agent gets paid? But it does affect the product. Yeah. For the same product, if you can reduce the distribution cost, more can go to the benefits. Yeah, so to come back to the question, first, after that, I realized not very nice because a lot of my clients are friends and family. So I left, I went to an IFA, so I can really compare all the best products, and then I sell. And then the best products, distribution costs very little. Yeah, so I couldn't make a living. Conflict of interest actually work both ways. A lot of people think conflict of interest only affect the consumer, but when I want to recommend a good policy, I really earn nothing. So after that, I went to go and cannot survive $8,000 per month. Okay, that was maybe 8 to 10 years ago which $1,000 a month still okay, but forget about buying a house, all this kind of thing. So I went to teach tuition instead. I earn me more money.
And so what do you think about, in one of my comments, it says, you buy chicken rice, you go and ask the uncle like to sell you at cost. You buy a policy, of course, you need to know that you are also paying for the cost. I mean, the uncle needs to profit, right? So they're saying that the agent needs to profit also.
I think that comparison is not really accurate, okay? Because your insurance premium, right, already built in certain costs of the insurance company outside of the distribution cost, right? You can remove distribution costs from the picture, and all the staff of the insurance company still gets paid, aside from the agent selling the policy, right? So of course, the company has a customer service counter, they have underwriters, they have actuaries, right? All these are already built into the cost of insurance, okay, which is separate from distribution costs. Yeah, distribution costs would be more like if I have, you have a chicken rice store, then you hire me to go and help you pull customer. Then every customer I pull to you, you give me $2, $3, right? Then maybe another chicken rice store, you give me $4, $5. So I think there is a certain clash of interest that comes about, right? Because let's say now my friend from overseas want to eat a plate of chicken rice, okay, and I don't know him that well. So which chicken rice store will I bring him to? Is it the one that give me $4, $5 or the one that give me $2?
Of course, the $4, $5 one.
Or what if there's someone that very nice, but don't give me distribution cost?
Then obviously
right?
you won't introduce to that one.
Okay, if it's my very good friend, let's go to the very delicious one, super delicious. I don't get anything, but if I rely on this job for my livelihood, I mean there is a certain incentive, right? I cannot bring everybody to the super nice but don't give me distribution cost, right? Don't give me commission. Even the $2 one, I think I cannot survive. I have to bring them to the $5. So yeah, that is what clash of interest is, right? So of course, I do some work, right? I go and research, then that chicken rice store is actually quite okay, quite nice, but I get $5 from it. I think the important thing is that at least the person needs to know that I have this kind of clash of interest.
That means that you're earning $5 lah.
Yeah. Then at least he can think, I'm here for only one day. I want to eat the best chicken rice, right? Yeah, so maybe this one, you earn $5. You can think, right? If you think, no problem, you bring me to chicken rice place, $5, that's okay, right? But if you don't disclose it, it's not a very good place for him to decide. Yeah. In fact, maybe he will think, I give you $5, you bring me to really the absolute best one. Then that is actually fee only, right? Fee only is that you pay someone to give you the best advice possible.
Yeah.
Okay, but of course that one also has clash of interest. I'm not saying that that doesn't. Okay, but we are talking about commission now. Okay, commission also have some. I think commission has a very big issue to address, which is conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So as consumers, I think you need to change the culture of not asking. Actually, you should ask your advisor or your agent, and not only should you ask, you should ask them to put down in writing how much fees or how much commission they are getting.
Really?
Yeah, I feel that you should do that, and I don't think you need to be paiseh because this is a 25-year or even rest of life kind of commitment. It's not a 1 year, 2 year plan. Maybe you can forget about it, but yeah, it follows you for 25 years. So I think you should guard your own interests and ask them to write down in writing how much com they get.
But why would they do that?
No, that's why consumers need to ask. If you don't ask, I mean, you're the boss right now, right? If you want to buy the policy. Yeah, so
I guess they could also look at the distribution cost and aggregation. 70% of that distribution cost for the first year would be
correct. So at least you need to know that there's such a thing called distribution cost.
Correct. Yeah. Individuals, they might not care about how much premium or how much distribution cost is. Some consumers would lah. And so I think it's important that everybody knows, right or not? I think it's quite fair lah. Then if you don't care, then you don't care. At least you know, right?
Right.
That's what I feel lor.
I think that there are really a lot of people who should realize that commission can be very high, can be more than the first year premium. Then that might make you think a little bit and then go and see whether there are better alternatives.
Yeah, I guess like when I was thinking about distribution costs, I'm just in that space where would an insurance agent be incentivized to sell you something that's better for you but doesn't pay them as well, right? Which is the conflict of interest. And is there harm for someone to know this distribution cost and then to go on to compareFirst.sg to compare first, then decide lah. You go to buy a house, right? You also will compare, right? What more a policy that you have to service for 15, 25 years, you know? So yeah, so then people were flaming about why need to compare or something like that. It's like, huh?
Yeah, and so I think consumers, to protect yourself, you should definitely read more, research more, and also ask lah, all right? Ask around. Yeah. And on the agent side of things, I think there's no need to be offended at people revealing your commission, because it is black and white stated there, right? It's just that people need to explain what distribution cost is, right? I know it's printed there, distribution cost, but the layperson doesn't really understand, right? Distribution cost sounds very vague, okay? But when you list out, okay, actually it's commission, all right, bonus, incentive trip, then you know your client has a more informed decision on what to pick, ma.
I think if you disclose, nobody's going to fault you for, why you give me this product, damn expensive, whatever, right?
Yeah, so I think if you are a good agent, right, you recommend things in your client's favor, there's no harm, right? Revealing the commission rate to them, right? Explaining to them in full what distribution cost is. Yeah, and then for consumers, if your agent is not explaining distribution cost to you, I think you should ask and maybe have to think a bit about why your agent is not explaining, you know, that page to you. Yeah.
I mentioned about compareFirst.sg as a resource that people can check their policies. The policy that is being quoted to them, and they can look at other available options. And it seemed like not many people are aware of this compareFirst.sg, you know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
I also did recommend compareFirst on one of my videos lah. The issue with insurance in general is that people tend not to buy insurance. Insurance is something that's sold, okay? Which is why commissions is like some people think that commission is a necessary evil, right? So that agents will be incentivized to go and sell the products. Okay, but I think consumers should be a bit more aware and ask questions, okay, not just to their agent about how much commission there is, but also ask themselves, hey, why is the commission so high? Why are some products having more commission than others? Okay, because we have to remember we're also dealing with insurance companies and their profit-seeking entities, right? So the clash of interest is also not just between you and the agent, right? There's also some, push-pull factors between you and the insurance company, lah, right? So yeah, you might want to see whether there are cheaper alternatives. Okay, and don't get us wrong, we're not saying that insurance is not important. I think some people, they reply, say, wow, that's why I don't buy insurance. No, insurance is very important.
Yeah, insurance is very important. I love insurance.
Yeah, but you have to use platforms like compareFirst and other online resources to see what is the right kind to buy. And I think compareFirst is a good place for you to sort of have a place for you to see, hey, how much insurance policies are, how much cover. Oh, the premiums can differ so wildly, right? I think some people also don't know. Some people, they will just say, insurance everywhere also about the same price one. It's not true. Some policies really, some insurance companies really much cheaper than others.
I think like what you always say, the devil is in the details lah.
Yeah.
And it's really, sometimes I think people don't really want to go into the nitty-gritty details of what the policy really entails. So then they just say, you just help me think lah.
Yeah, and not just cheaper, it could be better, you know. And some people think that they have this concept that more expensive means
better,
more trustworthy. It's not quite true lah. And I would say that in Singapore, if you're talking about life insurance, as long as you have that contractual obligation in the company, okay, we are very regulated, okay, they will pay, right? It's not like, you buy cheaper, then it's harder to claim. It doesn't work that way. As long as you meet the definition of the claim, they will pay, okay? We are a very regulated life insurance industry.
Some people in my comments say, insurance agents don't need to earn money, then they just eat grass. Do we not pay the agent?
Well, I think agents need to be paid, right? Nobody works for free, okay? But I think when you want to pay your agent, you also need to know how much you're paying. Yeah. So it's important for you to see what kind of distribution costs you're paying, right? Even though it's part of the premium and calculated already, like, as I mentioned, it's already built into the plan, it affects your benefits. Okay, so you need to know what you're paying for, and you need to ask your agent, how much is it? Okay, even though it's printed there, it's in jargon, right? So we need to be very clear what distribution cost is. And I think your video did a great job, okay, in 60 seconds, right, very, very short time, to explain what distribution cost is. Yeah, and then you also stated your personal opinion. Yeah, so I'm not sure why they're so triggered by it.
I think it's just you need to know what you're paying for, be comfortable with what you're paying for, and then don't blame anybody lah, right? Basically, that's the only right.
So not to say that agents shouldn't be paid, but you cannot want consumers to pay without even knowing it. Yeah.
And a lot of times, some of the comments in my thing is that I paid so much for this policy and then my agent is not there to service it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue about commission also, because it's upfront, right? It's paid over the first few years. Usually first year the most, then second year it steps down, third year practically almost nothing, then it tapers to nothing. For most policies like that. So yeah, no incentive, right? Most agents, to continue getting a salary, have to continue getting new clients. Yeah. And of course, even if that is not the case, agents can change anytime, right? They can earn the commission upfront, then 2-3 years down the road decide that it's not, another job is better. So it's not guaranteed that kind of servicing.
Yeah, and I think I've met other insurance agents who are actually completely fine with me posting about distribution costs, and they are actually tiered agents also, and they're like, I think it's important for people to know. So I think it's also like mature like I feel like if you are reacting to some, like a video like that, maybe you need to like investigate why are you so triggered.
Yeah, I think that, I believe that, okay, it's fine that you are earning from it. No, it's not a secret that you're earning from it.
Exactly.
But you have to disclose, right? You have to show that I am making this, this amount from you, right? And your client, right, will have a better understanding of whether or not he or she should proceed with it, right? Correct? Because if, again, you're paying your agent without knowing how much you're paying, I think that is a bit problematic. Of course, there are even some consumers who don't care. Right? They really don't care about it, and that's fine. But as a professional, I think you should at least state your fees. Right? Be it upfront fee, that means you can charge a fee like my company, okay? But again, disclaimer, this is nothing to do with them. Right? This is my personal opinion. And I would say, I'll be the first to say also that fee only also got some conflict of interest. Right? I can overcharge you. Like maybe your job 1,000 can already, but I charge you 5,000. Right? Okay, but at least I think that one is clearer. 5,000 you don't want, go because I'm not hiding the fee. You have to pay me the fee. Yeah. But commission, I think, is a bit harder, right? Because commission, you buy a product, if you do not know how much is it, how do you know whether you're overpaying? Right? Yeah. So I think it's important to disclose.
Yeah. And I think some comments also said, don't sell to you, that's not cheapo. They said, everything need to be cheap, meh? Right?
I would say that it is up to the buyer, to the consumer, to decide whether or not to be a cheapo, right? I don't think it's fair to label people as cheapo, right? Because we all are rational human beings. We want value for ourselves, okay? And we want to, okay, like I said, something is not about cheap. It's also about, am I getting what I'm paying for? Yeah. So if I do not even know what is my commission, right, that I'm paying the agent, if I do not know what's the benefit, right, then what is the point of buying it? Right? So, so it's not just about, I don't think it's about being cheaper. I think it's about being prudent.
I agree. I think sometimes the name calling is very unnecessary and very, immature. All right. So in conclusion, what we are saying is that consumers need to know what they are paying for. And if they're comfortable with paying that amount, then go ahead. And our job is to educate the consumer, right? And if you are going to buy a policy that is 10 to 20 years, then it makes sense that you know what you're buying for, and before you get into it. It's just like when you're buying a house, you want to know whether or not you want a house that is front facing, back facing, north, south, east, west, you want to know whether this feng shui is good or not. It's the same thing with Obviously, you're not going to look at feng shui for insurance, but you want to know what is the cost that goes into your renovations and all of that. So it makes sense that even for when you're buying your policies, you want to make the best informed decision. Yeah, and that's what we try to do lah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you can check out I Just Try Lah on TikTok to see all of our other videos, right? Including that very controversial one, right? And join the discussion there also.
And you can check out Seth on YouTube.
I mean, they are watching my YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's true. But then they are, if let's say I post it on my thing,
Okay.
and you can check out Seth on his YouTube channel, Satisfy. Yeah. So thank you for watching. In the end, I interview you.